makes a person of interest.
All right, folks. Good afternoon to you. Tony, if you could bring the music down, take the screen away. Let me go and get up so I can see everybody. Good afternoon to you. It's midday. Good to see everybody. I'm coming to you from Watercolor, Florida. It's beautiful. It's 78 degrees. Everybody should want to be down here, folks. And I do have some folks coming down in just a couple of hours to do a retreat called Expansion. All in, always. So we got people from all over the country that are coming down. I'm going to spend the next 3 days with them in beautiful Watercolor, Florida. If you ever see me do retreats, I do retreats down here typically about once a month. And people are out biking and they're walking and they're, it's just a beautiful place. And then we do coaching. We'll have dinner together tonight. And then tomorrow we'll do coaching most of the morning. And then we'll come back and do some things tomorrow night. Then we'll come back and repeat that process the next day. So I'd love to have you at some point. The purpose of today's webinar is really to do something that I've never done. Many years ago, I wrote a book, Patrick, called The $1 Million Follow-Up. And I wrote that book out of frustration. I typically write a book because I'm frustrated with something, right? I'm good and mad about something. And what I was frustrated with, Pam Williams, is that I watched how people followed up with me. And I get pitched every service you can imagine. I'm sure you guys can imagine. I get pitched every day, all day, every day, emails, phone calls, Instagram, LinkedIn, text messages. So I literally get pitched services all day, every day by people, and I observe how they followed up with me. And man, I just got frustrated with how pitiful people followed up. Either they didn't follow up, they would pitch me an idea or service and they didn't follow up. They didn't follow up enough. They didn't have my attention. They didn't solve a problem for me. And then some of them tried to guilt me into taking action on their services. I mean, they basically broke every rule of follow-up that there is. And then I figured out there are no rules on follow-up because really nobody wrote the book on how to follow up. So people do it the wrong way. And then fast forward a few years later, I write a book called Person of Interest. And people of interest are in high demand. People of interest are interesting people. They're doing interesting things. People are attracted to what they're doing. And so a guy comes along, he said, man, I'm confused. You tell me in your book, $1 Million Follow-Up, I need to follow up 7 to 15 times. Then I read your book, Person of Interest, and you say, people of interest don't chase, right? Like, help me to understand, how does a person of interest follow up? Okay. And how is that different than most salespeople? How many of you have been followed up poorly on a product or service at some point in your life? Just raise your hand. How many of you were interested in buying a product or service, but they did such a pitiful job of following up with you, you actually lost interest and went on and bought it from somebody else? How many of y'all have had that happen? Okay. All right. How many of you wanted to buy something from a person, but you were confused by the offer or confused about the product or service? Raise your hand. All right. So just look. Okay. So everybody who's on here today has been followed up poorly. And there is, because people don't really know what they're doing. They really just struggle in this area. So I do all these workshops on follow-up because I have a full day of follow-up coming up next Tuesday called Fanatical Follow-Up. Okay. And it's how you follow up like a pro, man. It's how you be fanatical in your follow-up, but how you do it like a pro. Well, one of my top clients called me and he said, look, people hate following up. They hate having to go back. They hate having to re-pitch their services. They hate having to chase people down. He said, man, they hate it. He said, what you should teach people how to do is follow up from a position of strength. Follow up like a person of interest. And he said, you should do a webinar on how to follow up like a person of interest. So voila, boom. He asked for it like a little genie in a bottle. Nathan Redmond, I said, yes. Okay. He asked for it and I said, I'll be happy to do it. Now, so I'm making my notes. I was out looking at a $5 million real estate property this morning. And here's what's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if that agent follows up. Guess what the agent never asked this morning, Scott Stearns? She never asked me, what are you trying to do? She never asked me, why would you be interested in this property versus the other properties? She asked me, is this project within your budget? How much time do you spend in Florida? How are you going to make money with this commercial property? What's your strategy here? So I spent 30 to 45 minutes with a salesperson, and she never asked me one thing she needed to know to sell me that property. Everybody see that? Now, how is she going to follow up with me? Have you, are you ready to take action? Do you have any questions? See, she don't even know what my intentions are. I may want to buy it and flip it. I may want to buy it and sell it. I may want to buy it and put a greatness factory in there. I may want to buy it for the net operating income. Who knows? She don't know. Darren, I spent 30 or 40 minutes with her, and she don't even know why I wanted to buy it. Why? She didn't do her discovery. So it's going to be very hard for her to follow up with me like a person of interest because she don't know what I want. Okay. So let's talk about this. Okay. And let's talk about how do people of interest follow up, because that's really why you're here today. And I want to kind of give you the purpose of the follow-up. Now, I already gave you one nugget. Number one, a key question I ask in the sales cycle very early is really two questions, Vicky Hill. I ask, number one, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about doing this? What's your timeline on taking action on this? I also ask, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do here? Because I can't help you if I don't know what you're trying to do. Okay. And I think anybody who tries to tell you what to do before they ask you what you're trying to do is just trying to sell you something. Okay. And I know you get in the habit of selling products and get in the habit of selling services. What I want you to do is slow down just a little bit and have some dialogue with the other person. Just ask a simple question. What are you trying to do here? See, that's the first question she should ask me. Hey, Mr. Burt, so good to see you. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time with us. I know you're a person of action. I think this will take less than 15 minutes for me to show you the building start to finish. What's most important to you? And I'm going to say cash flow is most important to me. How can I use the property is most important to me. How much money is it currently making? How much rent, how much vacancy does it have? Why are they selling this property, right? Like, see, here's the deal. She could have said all those in the first 2 or 3 minutes. Then if I said cash flow is important, the very first follow-up could have been, Coach, I've done my homework. This property cash flows and brings in about X number of dollars per year. Okay. She could have known right there by asking a very simple question. What are you trying to do? And if you guys will start doing this early in the sales cycle, then you will know what they want. Here's a question I've been asking is, if I could put together one boot camp, I could write one book. I only did one per year. That would solve a problem for you. Okay. What would that boot camp be? Okay. And people just tell me, man, I'm really struggling here. I'm really struggling here. Okay. Ryan O said, Coach, how does that apply to outbound cold insurance calls? Here's the deal. Here's the deal. If I called you, hey, Ryan, this is Coach Burt, man. I'm calling you from Tennessee. Where do you live? Well, I live in Illinois. I live in Indiana. What's the weather like there today, man? Okay. Well, it's cold and windy, or it's sunny. Okay, great, man. I've never been there, but I've been somewhere else. Now, the purpose of my phone call, the purpose of my phone call is to do this. Okay. That's the purpose of my phone call, is I'll tell you right up front, this is my intention today. I'm calling you for this reason. First, I initiate, then I disarm, then through building rapport, I ask a question. Let me ask you a question. Are you currently insured in these areas of your life? Well, I'm not real sure. Do you know how much insurance you have? Okay. No, I don't really know. Okay. If I could help you figure out how much insurance you have and how much coverage you actually need, would that be valuable for you? Yes, it would be valuable for me. Okay, good. See, what I'm doing is I'm extracting information from her. Now, why is that important? You're going to see in just a minute, the purpose of the follow-up is to show the other person how you can either help them with their opportunity or solve a problem for them. See, you're an expert. I'm an expert. See, if you said, hey, man, you got $1 million of life insurance or $600,000 of life insurance or $120,000. See, Ryan, you can say, man, this ain't enough. I'm glad we're talking right now. It's very important that we're on this phone call together, because I would tell you, based on what I'm hearing you say, I don't believe you have enough insurance. And let me tell you why I believe that. Okay. I'm extracting data. The purpose of the follow-up is to show the other person how you can either help them achieve some type of desired outcome or solve some kind of problem that they have. Everybody see that? Okay. Now, the expert does not ask them what they think they should do. What do you think you should do? What do you think you should do? Where do you think your missing structures are? I'd say, ma'am, I found by being an insurance person for 10 years that most people have three common missing structures. They don't have enough life insurance. They're not properly insured in case something happens. They got a lot of risk. Now, based on what you're telling me in this conversation, it looks like you got 2 or 3 of those missing structures. Okay. And I want to just show you a plan to cover you. Would that be okay with you? And you keep them in a forward position. Okay. Now, if I told you the purpose of the follow-up is to solve a problem or present an opportunity to another person, if you are following up any other way than that, then you are missing the boat in the follow-up. Does everybody understand that? Okay. If any other way, now here's what you got to make up your mind, folks. You're an expert. You are telling other people what you think they should do based on the problem they have. Brett Carey comes to me and I'm a doctor. I say, Brett, it's 3 things, man. I've looked under the hood. I've seen what's going on. Here's just 3 things I need you to do, man, if you want to live to 100 years old. I need you to walk X number of miles per day. I need you to cut back on this. I need you to do this. Now, it's up to you whether you do it or not, Brett. But if you told me you wanted to live to 100 years old, which you did, the purpose of my phone call is to tell you exactly how you can do it. Everybody see that? If you're a financial advisor, hey, I listened to you. You told me you wanted $10 million by the time you were 70. By my estimation, I've done the calculation. For the next 20 years, you need to be investing, right, $1 million a year or $500,000 a year for the next X number of years. If we even got you 3% interest rate, man, you're going to have more than what you thought. So when would you like to get started? Everybody see that? So I want you to write down these characteristics of a person of interest. And I want you thinking to follow up like a person of interest. You got to be a person of interest. People of interest have certain characteristics. I'm going to give them to you. I want you thinking, what are you missing? Number 1, they don't just have knowledge, they have specific knowledge. You are a specialist, not a generalist. When you call me back, you got a specific plan, not a general plan. Everybody see that? You're telling me specifically, this is what you need to do. You are a specialist, not a generalist. Okay. I've got a buddy that's in a bodybuilding competition, a guy who's in a monster tycoon level. And so he's going to a nutrition specialist. He's going to a bodybuilding specialist, and he's going to a workout specialist. One designs his nutrition. One designs his workouts. One does the workouts. And here's what he said. It's very specific. I have to eat this much protein. I have to drink this much water. I have to work out this long. I have to burn this many calories. These people are specialists. And it's like, this is exactly what you got to do to get ready for this competition. You can't do it some way. You can't do it halfway. The purpose of my phone call, I'm a specialist. Okay. And I'm telling you specifically what you got to do. So they don't just have knowledge. They got very specific knowledge. I'm calling you because I've diagnosed exactly what you need to do. There's 3 things I think you need to do. There's 3 ways I think you need to do it. There's 2 ways I think I can help you. There's 7 people I need to introduce you to. Number 1, don't have knowledge, you got specific knowledge. Number 2, you don't have generic skills. You have impeccable skills. See, I'm teaching my sales team, when they follow up with someone, they need to be able to say, there is nobody in the world better at activating the prey drive in a person than Coach Burt. Okay. They need to be able to say, this guy is the best at this one thing right here. Okay. He has a very specific skill set. Everybody with me? See, I come to you, William, and right. And it's like, what should I do? You need to be able to say, man, I've spent X number of years of my life becoming a specialist, an expert in this area. Okay. I'm calling you right now to make my expert recommendation. And when you make that recommendation, man, your skills are so powerful. It's like, oh yeah, this person's good. You know how to explain your value. You know how to build momentum toward the close. You know how to overcome objection. You know how to convert interest. Those take skills. Would y'all agree? Third thing you got as a person of interest is, man, you got a ridiculous prey drive. If you're going to follow up like a pro, get out of your mind that you're chasing people to manipulate or convince them to take an action, because you're not. What you're really doing is you are following up with them to articulate how you can solve their problem. The person of interest is not chasing people to try to manipulate them into action. The person of interest is calling saying, you know what? I've thought about it and given some thought to your scenario. There's really 3 strategies I would use with you. I have used those strategies 14 times with other people. Here's the outcome of those strategies. Okay. Remember, you're solving a problem or presenting an opportunity. You're not chasing me. People of interest do not chase, folks. People of interest present ideas. Okay. Dwight Dye, I'm calling you today to present an idea. Here's 3 strategies I've used with some of the top tax specialists in the world. I'd be happy to put you on the phone with them. They've grown their business by 43%. Now, if I could help you grow your tax business by 43%, like I've done for these people with these 3 strategies, would you be open to it? You see how I'm following up with him? I'm being very specific with him. I'm giving him demonstrated capacity. I'm not, Dwight, listen, doesn't matter to me if you buy it or not, man. I can't help you till you commit to something, but I can't get you this 43% increase until I get you to take action on something, right? That's a prey drive. Last night, I've been working on a guy in the insurance space for a while. Why? Because we believe the same things. I know I can help him. He purchased my $1 Million Coaching Summit, my Michael Burt School of Speaking that's coming up in June. And last night I did a video, and immediately after the video, he messaged me, how much would it cost me for you to come work with my team? The video triggered him to make a decision. Does everybody see that? Okay. Now, when I follow up with him, I follow up and I say, thank you for the opportunity to work with your team. I didn't just tell him how much it would cost, folks. I said, let me tell you what I'm going to do when I come work with your team. I'm going to instill my 6-part system. I'm going to activate their prey drive. I'm going to have dinner with you the night before. Okay. We're going to do this. Like, I'm explaining step by step what I'm going to do. Now, for me to come do that, it's going to be this price. This is the investment it's going to be. This investment will turn into a significantly more amount of money. Okay. Okay. Everybody see that? Now, here's my point. I could have just went back. This is what most people would have done. You know what most people would have done? They just said the price. How much does it cost? This is how much it cost. I used to call real estate agents, folks, and I'd say, man, I noticed this property was listed. How much is it? They'd say, well, it's $400,000. And I'd say, okay, thanks. See ya. They didn't capture my name, my information, anything. What they should have said is, Mr. Burt, thank you for calling about that property at 138 Pine Needle Court. Let me ask you a couple questions, Coach, so I can better serve you. What drew you to that property? Well, I really like this. Is that okay? Is there somewhere else that you got to do, somewhere else that you got to sell before you'd like to come to this property? Okay, for me to properly help you, Coach, I just got to ask you a few questions. See, most agents would say, man, the property's this, just like the young lady this morning. All she did was told me how much the building costs and walked me around. Now, let me ask you a question, folks. Could my 9-year-old daughter have done that? Yes or no? My 9-year-old daughter could have said, let me show you this room and this room and this room. What she should have been doing was getting intel. Why are you interested? Why did you take time out of your day to come look at this property? What are you trying to do with this? Right? Let me ask you a few questions, Coach, so I can make sure I have everything. See, prey drive is effort. Most people are lazy. Because they're lazy, they don't get the details that they need. Okay? They don't get the details they need. Number 4 ingredient of people of interest is they have a contagious confidence. And this was really what I was meeting with my own team about this morning. Man, somebody's got to sell something, folks. It don't magically sell itself. You got to get another person excited. You got to sell it with enthusiasm. Hey, man, Lisa Vaughn, I'm calling you back. I'm so excited to talk to you. I listened to what you had. Man, there's 3 ways I think we can help you. We're helping a lot of other people just like you. I've given some thought to the 2 strategies I would use to help you. Now, if we can make this work, Lisa, what would stop you from moving forward with me today? See, I'm talking to her with confidence. Who's the expert here? You or them, folks? You are. So start being an expert. Start telling people what they need to do. Okay. I told my team this morning, there's certain deals I do, and I am dying for somebody to just be a freaking expert and tell me what I should do. I'm like, look, this is a complicated deal. You've done a lot of these. Explain to me how you did it. And they don't do it. They just, hey, have you thought about it? Have you made a decision? Do you have any questions? I'm like, yes, I want you to show me how to do this. Okay. Tell me what I need to do. You are an expert. The person of interest does not follow up and say, Kathy, what do you think about, man, what do you think about what you heard last night on confidence? Did you like it? Yes. Okay, good. Can you imagine being coached by Coach Burt every week, Kathy, every single Monday? Can you imagine every Tuesday, Thursday being in that private Facebook group? Can you imagine getting that kind of coaching for a year and what could happen to your business? Now, let me ask you a question, Kathy. If Coach Burt helped you grow your business 40%, how much more money would you make? See, and I forced her to tell me, oh, shoot, I'd make $75,000 more dollars. Okay, great. Okay, all Coach Burt's asking for is $57 to help you learn how to follow up, Kathy. Now, if you gave Coach Burt $57,000, he gave you back $75,000, would that be a good trade, Kathy? She's going to be, of course it would. I'm like, all right, sounds like to me you're ready to get started. See, people of interest have a contagious confidence about them. Okay, now, so I got specific knowledge, I got impeccable skill, I got a high prey drive, and I got a contagious confidence. Okay. Now, let me tell you what else people of interest have. I'm not going to give you all of the ingredients. You'll have to read the book for that. But one of the other two ingredients that I think are important is they got deep networks. How many of you believe that having networks matters? Okay. I've got a guy right now who told me that he would pay me $1 million if I would help him sell his company. And I'm like, done deal, big guy. And I went straight to another guy that's a great business broker. And I said, look, this guy wants to sell. You know how to sell. I'm connecting you two. Do you know that it took me 17 text messages to get them two on the phone with each other? I got one that wants to sell, one that knows how to sell. And if I can pull it off, I get $1 million because it's a $125 million company. Here's the deal. It took me 17 times to get them on the phone together. And they finally got on the phone together this morning. Now, let me ask you a question. I can't get the $1 million, Letitia, if I can't put them together. So here's what I do. Have you two connected yet? Man, I want to make sure you two connect. Remember, let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. One's like, now I'm at the lake, I'm at the ocean, I'm over here, I'm like, look, stay focused. You told me you want to sell your company. So I'll send them a message. Hey, you guys connecting today? I want to help you sell that company. Remember? Okay, let's stay focused here, boys. Now, here's my point. All I'm doing is connecting two people together, folks. And if that's worth $1 million, okay, it's worth $1 million, man. So let me tell you something. Every day I wake up, I'm like, have you two connected yet? I'm trying to connect Rob O'Neill, who's a Navy SEAL, with Sam Taggart, who has a big conference. Sam Taggart will pay Rob O'Neill his full speaking fee. And I can't get them on the phone with each other. I'm like, look, I'm trying to help you make $50,000 or $60,000. I just need you two to link up here today. Okay. And if you link up, you'll both thank me later. Okay. Now here's the deal. People get so distracted in the world that sometimes people's like, here's $1 million. Will you take it? Nope. Nope. I'm busy. Nope. I'm busy. Nope. I'm busy. I'm like, no. Pay attention. So part of being a person of interest is having a network of people. And in connecting those networks is like currency. It's like money. Would y'all agree with that? Yes or no? When you can connect people to opportunity, they remember. They don't forget you. So when you call them back, they take your phone call. They pay attention. Okay. Now, let me give you the last one, and then we're going to move to the follow-up. People of interest have made up one thing. They are the prize. Most salespeople supplicate to other people, which means they go into every negotiation from a weak position. You have the money. You're real important. I'm not important. People of interest have made up their mind. I have something really valuable here. it can really help you. My job is to explain how it can help you so that it presents an opportunity for you or solves a problem for you. If you don't see this value, I'm going to move on to the next person who will see it. Does everybody see that? See, most people negotiate. Here's what I know. If I go look at this building today, who's the buyer and who's the seller here? They have the property, but I have the money, right? So what you always want to be in any negotiation is the buyer and not the seller. The buyer has an advantage over the seller because the buyer has the resources. So when I call a person, I say, you know what? I don't know if you're going to be a good fit for my coaching program or not. I'm only looking for Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs. And I don't know if you're as committed as you need to be for me to be your coach. Right. See, right now we're coaching over 750 people. We added all up, it's probably 1,000 to 2,000 total people right now. I'm really at this point in my life, I've spent 28 years building a skill set, man. I'm really not looking for anybody that's going to whine, anybody that's going to complain, anybody that's going to make excuses. I'm only really looking for committed people. So do you think you can commit to showing up when you're supposed to and doing the heavy lifting like you're supposed to? And if you can't, you probably need to go down to the baby SEAL department and get a starter coach. You don't need me. Okay. Now here's what I'm saying, folks. People of interest have made up their mind. Look, I have something valuable. I will only go where I feel celebrated, not where I feel tolerated. Everybody hear that? If you feel like you're trying to convince, trying to beg, trying to manipulate. So I have told some people before, look, I'm done. I'm not following up with you again. The ball is in your court. If you want to do something with me, you can follow up with me. I've gone the distance. I've put the work in. I've showed you what we could do. Man, I can't help you till you commit to something. Every time I call you, there's an excuse why you won't take action. I'm out. Okay? Because people of interest have made up one very valuable thing. They are the prize. How many of you need to go back and follow up in a better way so far based on what you've heard? Okay, look, I have something valuable. It's taken me my whole life to cultivate it. It's a specific knowledge. It's a specific skill. It's a specific prey drive, and it's a boatload of confidence. Now, I'm going to give all those things to somebody who wants them. If you don't want it, it's okay. Go to somebody else, right? Because there's 7 billion people on planet Earth. I have something valuable. Now, once you make up your mind you have something valuable, then you have to learn how to be that person of interest. So here's what I'm not doing. Okay. This is what I'm not doing in the follow-up. I'm not chasing you. I am not trying to manipulate or convince you that you need to do something. Okay. I am bringing something of value to you, and I am presenting ideas to you. The purpose of my follow-up is to either solve your problem or bring you an opportunity. Everybody see that? If I call Mark Schaefer today and say, Mark, I'm going to raise some capital. I'm going to buy a building. That building's producing about $500,000 of cash. The note on it's about $350. We got about 150 grand a month that we're going to be making. I'm going to keep 75 and you're going to keep 75. Multiply that by 12. Okay, that's how much money we can make. Now, would you like to be in on this opportunity or not? And if Mark says, nope, too busy, got something going on, got to do this, I'm like, okay, no worries. I'll go to the next person. All I'm doing is presenting an opportunity to you, man. You don't have to take it if you don't want it. Everybody see that? The person of interest follows up. I could care less if he takes it or not. There'll be somebody who'll take it, right or wrong. Okay. So what you got to do is you got to make up your mind. I got something real valuable. If you want it, get on board. If you don't, get out of the way. There is no such thing as rejection. Okay. Some will, some won't. So what? Who cares? All right. Now, when you think about your follow-up, we already have covered the purpose of the follow-up. I'm calling you today to present an opportunity to you that I think would be good for you. Or I'm calling you today to show you how I could solve a problem for you. This is my follow-up to a top insurance guy yesterday. All right. He's putting together a new financial company. And this was my follow. This is a person of interest follow-up right here. Okay. I got so many messages, man. I can't even get to all of them. That's another sign you're moving and shaking. Here's what I said. I was talking with X this morning about some of the financial plays through X, your company. I'm adding my training and selling system to many companies as they try and get people up and running very quickly. Mortgage companies, solar companies, financial services. Keep this in mind, as my number one skill set is taking your people and making them better. Okay. This will expedite the ability to sell much faster. Boom. That's a person of interest follow-up. Okay. He comes back to me, says, makes sense. I love it. Now, all I'm doing right there, folks, is I'm creating an opportunity for myself. Eric White says, I'm starting a company and I'm doing this. I say, you know what? What you should do, Eric, is let me train all those people, man, because that's what I'm good at. I'm going to teach them how to explain their services and teach them how to generate leads and teach them how to follow up. Eric says, dang, that solves a problem for me. Sounds good. All I did is just create opportunity for myself. That's how a person of interest follows up. I don't say, could you please let me in? I'm begging you to let me in. Okay, man, right? I'm just like, look, this is what I do. This solves a problem for you. This is what you do. This is what he does. Let's put it all together. Let's do it much faster. And people are like, sounds great. I'm in. So I want to teach you a concept called the Challenger. This is from a book called The Challenger Sale. And I talk a lot about this in the book, $1 Million Follow-Up, and I also talk about it in Person of Interest. Okay. If I have a problem, and I got all kinds of problems, every business owner has problems. Raise your hand if you got problems right now in your business. Okay, good. If somebody came along and can solve those problems for me, would that be a benefit to you? Yes or no? Okay. It's real simple. Out of those problems, there are some problems that are more important than other problems. There are some, right? So when I'm going back to a person, what I want to do is I want to present to them this strategy of how I solve their problems. Now, let's just play this out. Okay, let's just play this out with a real life person. The purpose of my follow-up, Charles Clowers, tell me the number one problem. All right, let me show you if I call Charles. Charles is in Memphis. He was just at my boot camp. And I called him on the way back and I said, Charles, man, you just come and spent 2 days with me. Listen to the dialogue. This is the exact dialogue I would use. Charles, you come and spent 2 days with me last week in my Monster Grove boot camp. Man, what was the biggest takeaway you had?
You're getting to talk to 3,000 people a month, and I'm getting to talk to 90. I need 3,000 people.
All right, good. So let me ask you a question. What he's referring to is I'm producing 3,000 leads every 90 days. Now, Charles, you're getting about 90 leads a month. If I could help you get 3,000 leads a month, would that be valuable to you?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, here's the good news. Charles, I own a percentage of a marketing company called Genie Rocket. Now, what I'd like to do is set you up with a strategy session with my business partner. Let's talk about some strategies of how we could drive leads in the door, work those strategies, rework the people that you're currently getting that you're not selling. And if we could do that for you, would you be open to that strategy session?
Yeah.
If I could show you how I'm working with other insurance people, we're helping them drive more leads, get more out of the leads they're getting, cross sell. Would that be valuable to you, Charles?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a strategy session. I'm going to do a strategy. I'm going to sit back and think. I'm going to draw up on my paper right here exactly what I can do to help you generate more leads, where I think you can get a lift. I'm going to look at the top 3 insurance people I'm coaching, right? And I'm going to follow back up with you and give you a strategy. Now, notice I didn't try to sell Charles anything right there. How many people heard that? Because when you try to sell every time, it's like you got commission breath. You don't want to come off with commission breath, folks. Like Coach, you're all scared. If you don't sell something you're not going to eat, you scare everybody to death. Look, here's the deal. I'm an expert. Charles, I don't know how I can help you yet until I hear what it is you're doing. So I may go, tell me your top 4 strategies you're using, Charles, to generate leads right now. And he tells me, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you struggle with your explanation of service, Charles?
I'm a lot better than I was a week ago.
Okay, good. Thank goodness you came to my boot camp. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like you have enough leads?
No.
Okay.
I need more people.
Okay. So we don't need more money. We need more people. So we got a lead problem. How are you in the follow-up, Charles? Are you good or bad or average?
Average.
Okay, good. So we could use a little work in our follow-up. Okay, good. What about extracting referrals out of your current book of business in insurance? How are we doing in this area?
A lot better than I was a week ago.
Okay. Now, let me ask you.
3 this week.
There we go. Now, let me ask you this question. Would you consider yourself a person of interest over there in Memphis, or you feel like, man, you're the best unknown insurance agent in Memphis, Tennessee?
Yeah, that's me. Best unknown agent in Memphis.
Okay. Now, here's the good news, Charles. everything you said, I got a solution for. I'd like to put you in my Monster Growth Bootcamp to teach you how to generate leads. I'd like to put you in my Fanatical Follow-Up for a full day on follow-up. Okay. I'd like to put you in my 2-day Person of Interest Bootcamp to show you how to become known in the world. Okay. Now, out of those 3, which one piques your interest the most, Charles?
I just went to your boot camp, so let's say 2 and 3.
Okay, good. Well, Fanatical Follow-Up's only $57 and Person of Interest is $2,500. Now, I heard you talk about your wife, right? You want to get her on board just like everybody does. We also got a couples retreat. Okay. So if I put together a bundle and a package and included the couples retreat and the Fanatical Follow-Up in this, would that be of interest to you, Charles?
Yeah, I've lost track. Are we still role playing, or are you trying to sell me something?
Both?
Yeah, it would interest me.
Now, here's the deal. What I'm trying to teach you is look at how I diagnosed where his structures are. He told me. Did I tell him or did he tell me? Okay. He told me everything that I could help him with in his business. I need more leads. I want to get better at follow-up and closing. Okay. I need to become known. Now, he may not be able to do all of those things with us, or he may just say, boom, this is what I'm interested in. Okay, great. Let's go. Okay. If I could send it over right now, is there anything that would keep you from taking action on it, Charles? Now, here's where the objection comes in. Okay. If I said, man, if I could solve those problems for you, put it in a bundle for you, maybe save you a little bit of money, maybe. Okay. What would stop you from taking action on those things right now?
You really asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we talked about it some of the boot camp. I've got to dream bigger. Like you've done your job. I've got to prove that I'm capable of doing what I think I'm capable of doing. And then the sky's the limit. Let me give you $1 million. I just got to make 10 first.
Okay, good. If I helped you make 10, would you mind giving me $1 million of it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. All right. Now here's the deal. What we're figuring out is we're working through. Okay. When I asked him the question, what would prohibit him from taking action? Though, okay, he responded in a way that added some confusion to the follow-up, right? And then he said, I've already been to a boot camp. This is what I got to do. That's not what I asked. I asked, if I sent over an agreement right now, what would keep you from taking action on it? And so what I would probably say in that situation is, man, I love it. Thank you for going to the boot camp. Let's get back focused on these things that we're talking about here. Because what people do is they'll bring other things into the equation. Okay. Now, let me ask you a question.
Coach,
Yes.
You're the coach, but let me tell you something else you changed for me big time last week.
Yep.
You're pushing me forward to an event that has nothing to do with selling me. And that was a first for me. That was a big aha moment. You're going to send me stuff that's not spend more money with me. It's, hey, consider this next thing that's out in front of me.
Yep. And I called Charles. Charles said he wanted to talk about something, and I called him and we just talked. Here's the point, folks. Let me ask you a question. Alpha Slice, are you still on here? Okay. Tell them, did I call you yesterday?
Yes, you did.
Now, what was the purpose of that phone call?
Just to know me, what I do, and how I get leads in, what's my revenue, that type of stuff.
Yeah, here's the deal, man. I didn't call to sell him anything. I just called to talk to him. I'm a person of interest. He's a person of interest. I see what he's doing. I'm like, man, I just want to understand your business model. What are you doing? How are you doing it? How are you being successful? Okay. Now for you, okay, so JJ, okay, JJ's on here. JJ's trying to sell me the Instagram thing, right?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to help Michael get verified.
Okay. Now, here's the deal. Let's pretend for a second that I have no clue what the verification actually means to me. Why do I need the blue thing? What's it going to do for me? How's it going to make me make more money? Why should I spend the money to do it versus spend the money on something else? What would you tell me?
My apologies. So, I would say, was the question, you don't see value? Sorry, Michael.
Well, the question is, what if I don't understand? What if I don't know why I should spend the money? What would you say? What would you come back and say that why should I take action on this?
Yeah, well, the reason you should take action on this, Michael, is imagine being able to connect with anyone that you want on Instagram for them to get back to you straight away, and also be able to double your sales, right, from the people that you close on Instagram. Imagine being able to connect with anyone. There's no more trust issues. They go, where do I pay? Where do I buy?
Okay. So what could give me some demonstrated capacity of other people that you've helped?
Absolutely. So most of my clients are professionals, are people that leverage Instagram, right, to get people to either like them faster, trust them faster, and then do business with them. Most people now online are going, hey, well, not what your LinkedIn is. What is your Instagram?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And then-
so, so what I would say to JJ is a way to say that is he could lead with, listen to this lead in. I believe there's nothing faster than a speed of trust. I believe there's nothing faster than a speed of trust. That blue verification signifies trust, and trust speeds up interaction and transaction with people. Now, I've helped 7 people or 700 people over the last X number of X years, teach them how to take this investment and turn it into this amount of money. Now, you probably had a bad experience with somebody in the past who said they could do this for you, coach, which I have. Okay. And you probably felt like you wasted a lot of money, which I did. Okay. But let me tell you how what I do is different than what you had. You really had an amateur, and I'm really a professional. Everybody see that? So there's 7 strategies I'm going to use. This is going to be the outcome of those strategies. So I want you to hear what I'm saying. When I call Charles, I'm initiating, I'm disarming, I'm locating a problem, I'm pushing him to something in the future. I'm an expert, like a doctor. I'm making recommendations. Okay. When I called Alpha Slice yesterday, okay, I'm just talking to him. I'm just listening. What is it? What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go with this business? What's your next play? What's your motivation? Everybody see that? Okay. Remember, when you're talking to people, ask them the question. If I'm calling Doug, I'm watching you on Instagram. I see you're building your coaching business in the car industry, and right, exactly where these are common missing structures I see people make in the coaching business, because I've been doing this 28 years. If I could help fill some of these, would that be valuable for you? Everybody see that? See, I'm not just calling to sell him something. I am actually calling just to connect to him. Okay. This is a big problem a lot of people have. Okay. Victor Silva. Hey, I was just with a real estate agent who's showing me all the places in Watercolor, Florida, where they're putting storage at. Victor, if I could connect you to my agent who knows where all the plays are, would that be valuable for you? Yes, it would. Okay. So I'm not calling you to sell you anything. I'm calling you to do what? I'm calling you to connect to you. I'm calling you to do some discovery with you. I'm calling to try to figure out what the heck you're trying to do, John McAllister. Right? Lindsay, I don't know what you're trying to do until you tell me. Now, once you tell me, now it's my job to come back with a strategy. Now,
Coach, can I ask, like, I love what you're sharing, and thank you so much. When you are reaching out to people and wanting to connect with them, do you find that you will how many times will you keep knocking on their door until you go, you know what, if they're not, what's the length here? Because we can help a lot of people, but if they go, great, send me an email, or great, hit me next week, or, it's like, okay, maybe he doesn't really want it, or doesn't see need of it, or it's see value, or should I just let him be? That's sort of my problem at the moment.
Typically 7 touches. Now, here's the deal. I want you to send it in different mediums. Video. What I think with your business, JJ, you could do is send more demonstrated capacity. I've worked with these people. These are results they get. This is what they had to say about working with me. Okay. Because what it is it's not that somebody like me doesn't have the money to do it. It's just on a priority list. There's all these other things I'm working on. I'm working on big multi-million-dollar real estate projects. I'm working on, right. I have immediate things I have to do in my business. So I want you guys to write this down. It's called SNAP. Linda Patrick, you locked in with me? Okay. It's called SNAP. This is the formula when you're following up with people. It's got to be simple. If it seems complicated at all, I don't want to do it. It's too much friction, Mike Dole. It's too much friction. Okay. I want it to be simple. Okay. Number 2, it's got to be invaluable, which means it's got to be important to me right now. And to know it's got to be important to me, you're going to have a conversation with me. You could be trying to sell me X when I'm focused on Y. Okay. It's got to be invaluable. Number 3, it's got to be aligned. It's got to be aligned with what I'm doing. If you follow me at all, you know what I'm trying to do is get these greatness factories up and running around the country, which is why I was looking at real estate today. I'm trying to take real estate, either pre-existing, reconfigure it, make it cool, add my flavor and know-how to take it and make a lot more money with it. So if you're calling to sell me something way over here, I'm like, that's a distraction to me. It's not aligned with what I'm trying to do. Everybody understand that? This is what people try to do all day long. Try to sell something that ain't got nothing to do with where people are going. And number 4 is it's got to be a priority. Okay, so let's go back to JJ. JJ may come to me and say, look, I'm pretty sure you're going to want to do this and get verified at some point, coach, because you're going to be a star. On a scale of 1 to 10, man, how much of a priority is it for you to do it right now? And is anybody else trying to help you with this? And what's your relationship with them? See, if Matt Buchanan's trying to do it for me, he's going to try to tie me into Brandon Dawson. He's going to try to tie me into Cardone. He's going to try to tie me into all these people. Hey, when you become part of our family, I'm going to let you speak at my conference. See, so what JJ don't know is what I call there's inside baseball going on. Everybody understand? Richard, you follow me here? And inside baseball is I'm getting hit by other people trying to get me verified on Instagram, and they're going, hey, if you go with me, we're going to do this, and this for you. And if it's the same investment, I'm looking at the whole investment, not just the one thing. Okay. So I would ask a simple question, JJ, for you. Hey man, is there anybody else trying to help you do this? So you know who your competitors are. Okay. Now, this is important. Okay. This is important. When you think, okay, let build greatness factor underneath or above my, oh, I like that, Victor. I like, see, that's a new idea. Nobody's brought me that idea. Build greatness factors on top of storage units. I love it. Now, so when you get this, Victor Silva, Doug, is in the storage business. Now, what I'm trying to show you is the purpose of what I'm teaching you today is to get away from chasing, get away from one-way communication, get away from I'm sending emails and text messages, get away from seeming like you're begging people to do business with you, get away from looking desperate, get into, I am an expert, Scott Starnes. I'm an expert. I've been doing this 28 years, man. I know exactly what I'm doing. If you said I'm in this industry, I'm going to give you an example. I work with somebody in that industry to do this. The person of interest is always an asset versus a liability. The person that's just hounding a person to death with no value is a liability to people. Would you guys agree? Yes or no? Assets make money, liabilities subtract money. So you got to show me how you're going to be an asset to my life. Okay. And if you can show me how you're going to be an asset to my life, I'm open. I'm interested. Now, it may not be a priority. You may be way on down the list. There may be bigger things I'm working on right now. Okay. So like John Hart, when you're helping a person build out their strategy, it's real simple to me. What are you trying to do? Well, you're 44 years old. At 60, you want to have $27 million. Okay. To have $27 million, I'm going to go draw the strategy up. I'm going to send it to you for us to talk about it. Right? When I send it to you on a scale of 1 to 10, coach, how serious are you? And I just ask up front, man, if this is the strategy, what objections do you have to the strategy I'm using? What would keep you from using this strategy? Just force me to tell you, well, I'm leery of this. I don't like this. I'm trying to do this. What if John Hart is trying to sell me putting my money into something and I go, man, I'm putting my money into greatness factors. I'm betting on me here. Everybody see that? He may waste a lot of time trying to sell me something that which is what a lot of people do because they just don't know. He should ask the hard questions up front. Okay. What are you trying to do? Are you open to this? Okay. I'm not here to chase you or bother you, man. I'm here to bring you some value. But if you don't want it, it's no hard feelings, man. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings because I got a line full of people that I can go help. Okay. Now, let me wrap it up with this and then I'll play some pitch and catch with you. On next Tuesday, I am breaking down this follow-up system. I have a 7-touch system that I use. It's called Fanatical Follow-Up. Okay. If you've been through it, you need to go through it again. And let me tell you why. How many of you are losing money because there's so much opportunity you follow up on, man? You get lazy and you don't follow up. I was telling Mike Dole on my team today, man, I've had a billionaire. I've come in contact with 3 billionaires in the last 30, 60, 90 days. And I would tell you, I've done a poor job of following up with those people. You don't just follow up on leads, folks. You follow up on connections. You follow up on opportunity. You follow up on dreams. You follow up on strategic partnerships, right? Like I'll just sit down and write down, oh my gosh, man, I'm following up with Bradley to do another event with him. I'm following up with Marshall Silver to put something together with him. I'm following up with Rob O'Neill, the Navy SEAL. I'm following up with, all these cool people that I meet in the world, because an object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. An object in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an outside force. So it's not that they don't want to do something with you. It's your lack of follow-up that keeps you from moving to the next level. So next Tuesday, I'm going to break down Fanatical Follow-Up. It's a day, it's 5 hours, it's live, it's $57. I'm telling you, if you don't go make more money, it reminds you. How many of y'all were reminded today that you need to do a better job of following up? How many of you were reminded that you have something special and valuable that other people need? Okay. How many of you were reminded that, man, there's a skill to follow up, folks. It's not just checking in on people or touching base with people. You are trying to solve a problem for another person. So I'm going to do a little test. I'm going to wait and see if this agent follows up with me. Okay. She didn't have some of the data she needed. I will be interested to see if there's any follow-up whatsoever. But here's the problem, right, Fred? She don't even know what to say when she follows up with me because she didn't ask any questions. So I feel like we wasted 30 or 40 minutes talking about nothing when she could have been pulling data out of me. What are you trying to do? Why are you trying to do it? Why would you spend money on this building? What's your ultimate goal, coach? What if it ain't that building, but there's another building she's got that goes, you know what? This ain't even the right one for her. I got a better one. Okay. So we really wasted time by going through these little rapport buildings, right? And we didn't really rapport build. It's just like, here's the building, here's this, here's the bathrooms. Come on, man. I can't help. Let me go back to Alpha Slice. I can't help Alpha Slice go reach toward his potential if I don't know what he's trying to do. And people don't take time to figure that part out, man. I just want to know, what are you trying to do? Let me see how I can help solve this problem for you, or present an opportunity to you, man. I don't even know what that is. Okay. So this is how people of interest follow up. And some of you follow up from a needy position, as if you don't have anything valuable. And man, you're trying like crazy just to get somebody's attention. You're trying like crazy just to get them to listen to you. If people are not taking your phone calls or following up with you or answering the phone or responding, they're putting you in a low status position. You guys understand that, right? What they're really saying without saying it is, man, you're not creating enough value for me. And right. And that's why I'm not answering the phone. You're trying to sell me something versus solve a problem for me. I take phone calls from people who solve problems for me. Okay. I don't take phone calls from people who are trying to just sell me something. Everybody see that? Okay. So just let's change the way we follow up forever. So if you want to come next Tuesday, I'm excited about it. I'll be back in Tennessee. I'll be at my lodge. There's going to be 50 people in the room. There'll probably be 250 people online. I'm telling you, man, it'll help you in your business. I promise you. Okay. This has changed the way I follow up forever. Okay. So let's play some pitch and catch, folks. You guys are very coachable. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being coachable. I love people that show up, man. I would coach you guys all day, every day. Thank you, JJ and Alpha Slice, and Charles for playing along with me today, because I only call on people I like, man, if you hadn't figured that out.
Hey, Coach, can I ask a question? I'm sure everyone's curious. What's the longest time you followed up someone, or how many touch points until you finally went?
Great question. The largest coaching contract I have right now, I followed up for probably a year to a year and a half. I did not get any response, JJ. Every now and then, randomly, I'd get a little emoji thumb up.
And can I ask, was it done through just email, text, video messages?
All of it. Video, all of it. It was video. If I was working with another company, I use a lot of association. And meaning if I'm over here with this company and it's a similar company, I'll shoot a video. Hey, I'm working with this company today. Here's what they're saying about what I'm doing. Here's the results I'm getting. Man, I'd love to get these results for you. And many times I never, ever, ever got a response. And then one day, randomly out of the blue, the national sales director said, I got a problem, man. I got a problem. And he said, can you coach one of my people? Just one of them. And I called and I said, man, why would I just coach one? Like, why wouldn't I coach all of your salespeople? Why wouldn't I coach all of your operations people? Why wouldn't I coach all of your managers? And that turned into a significant contract. But here's what he said to me, JJ. If you can teach our people how to follow up like you do with that kind of value and consistency, man, it'll be worth every bit we pay you. So I really got the gig because of my follow-up.
Was there a point throughout the process when you went, is this really worth the touch points? Well, it is, right? Yeah.
Sure. Now here's the deal. I'm sorry I didn't say this earlier. I make up my mind in the first 15 seconds. You were at the event I did in Las Vegas. Right?
Yeah. And I asked you this question. It's like, how do you know should you be putting energy to someone you don't know?
I think I'm looking for a certain person. I give a very clear explanation of value. This is what I believe. This is why I believe it. And then from that belief, from it to see the energy we get back with each other, then I start the follow-up process. Okay. If I meet a person and we don't believe the same things, if I meet a person, I don't think they're open, they're not humble, they're not hungry, they're not coachable, then I make up my mind, man, I'm not even going one time with them. Okay. See, when I met you, you're positive, upbeat. You see what I'm saying? You seem enlightened.
And some of that, coach, goes back to more people, right? If you're talking to 1,000 people a month, you can cull through 900 of them in 15 seconds and not worry about it. But if I'm only talking to 90, I want all 90 of them to be the person I want them to be.
Some of you saw me at an insurance event I did in Las Vegas a week or two ago, and we were going through our callbacks together. Mike Dole and I were, and I would get some people on the phone, and as soon as I got off the phone with that conversation, I'd tell Mike, I said, take them off the list. We don't need to follow up with them. Some of them I go, there's some real opportunity here. Let's keep going with this person. So I really make up my mind in that first. See, I think with what you're selling, JJ, it's not that people don't want to do it. They may just have a lot of things going on, and it's you really just got to explain the benefit.
Yeah, but also, coach, as you told me when we met, I think some people are not, and this is probably what you're going to talk about next week, but whether the people really want to jump into their greatness of building their personal brand. A lot of people are scared.
That's right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about building a personal brand? That's the question I'd ask. And if so, are you willing to commit money to it? And they may say, well, I don't know if I'm willing to commit that money or not. Give me some proof of concept. Give me some, right. And they may want to do it. Maybe they want to do it. And there's a value, JJ, of staying in their face, man, just touching, seeing what's going on. So when they do decide to do it, they think of you because you're in a very saturated market. There's a lot of people that claim to do what you do. So you got to boom, boom, boom. I call it just jabbing in there, right? Nicholas, you got a question?
Yeah, what's up, coach? So I'm in the insurance business, life insurance. So when I'm following up with people, do you think I should put energy into like almost like, as you say, to use like testimonials or association? Like, should I take time with someone, like go back through some clients, like good clients, and try to get them somehow either like on video or maybe go to like a Facebook page and write reviews so I can leverage that? Or should I just like generalize it and be like, this is what I'm doing for other clients? Or obviously it'd probably be more powerful if I could get specific people, but what does that look like? I mean, I'm not coaching a group full of people where I could be like, these are the results that these businesses get. I just help a client and then that's kind of where it's at. So how would I use them as association? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I do use, this takes a little bit of effort, but it's very valuable. I use short hype videos many times. Okay. And they could be a testimonial. Somebody comes to something I do. I say, man, shoot me a 20-second video about your experience and send it to me. And I use everything, right? It's like Grover said. If somebody says I use everything but the kitchen sink, I'd say, man, why didn't you throw the kitchen sink in there? Right? I use every tool available to me in the follow-up. Video, voice text, association, tagging. We tag people a lot in my office. I'll call Eric White and say, you tag him. Mike Dole, you tag him. Okay. Megan, you tag him. Okay. Let's keep the circle going. Let's keep the energy going. So if I was selling insurance, everything I do now, there's nothing I would do different. I was selling insurance. Nothing. I'd use the video text. I'd use the voice text. I'd use the testimonial videos. I would do the exact same thing I do today. Now, I have a lot of intellectual property, Nicholas, where I'm shooting a lot of video. We record it. We put it up on YouTube. I send that link out. Man, watch this video. Watch this 1-hour session I did on follow-up. Okay. What I'm trying to do is just keep people in a forward position. Okay. Any more questions, folks? Okay. I think this has been a good hour for us. Thank you so much. Remember, you are a person of interest, folks. Quit chasing, quit begging, quit supplicating, quit telling people how great they are. And by all means, let me close with this. Never say, hey, I know you're really busy. Never. Hey, if I could just get a minute of your time. You are already supplicated. When you tell people that, you are already in an inferior position to them. Okay. So I called a woman once. I'll end with this because I think it's good. I called a woman once and she said, hey, it's not a good time to talk. And I said, you know what? It wasn't a good time for me to call you. But I did. And you know why I did? Because you gave me your card and told me to. Okay. So hey, I'm busy and you're busy. Are you interested? If so, I'll call you back later. If you ain't interested, hey, let's just shake hands and move on. Everybody with me? I'm not chasing that woman down trying to convince her that I'm good enough for her, folks. She don't want it. She don't want it. Okay. All right. Thank you guys very much. Go ahead and sign up for next Tuesday. Would love to have you. We'll have a full house on that. All right. And follow up like a pro. Have a great day. God bless you guys.